Hi guys. I don't know why I'm nervous. I have a podcast with my friends, so this is like not abnormal to me, but this is my own individual podcast. So, welcome to the Storytime Society, episode 1, where I'm going to literally tell you so many stories, crazy stories, scary stories, cool stories, I don't know, stories, whatever I find that I think is intriguing. That's basically the vibes around here. And also, I just want to make it a thing that you can like grab your latte or your iced coffee and drink it. It's like coffee and story time or something. I don't know. Think of a better name than that, but I don't know. So, I have some crazy stories for you guys today, and I'm excited to talk about it. I have actually been posting a lot on TikTok stories from Reddit and personal submissions. So people will like send me crazy stories, or most of the time I'm just finding crazy stories on Reddit because I'm always on Reddit no matter what. So, like, why not just post some TikToks about it? And I post them in first person. I don't know why I'm explaining this all to you right now because you really don't need to know. But I post them in first person, and obviously a lot of people are going to be confused, but I have so many disclaimers that it's not my personal story, it's a Reddit story. I just think some people don't know what Reddit is, so I hope you know what Reddit is. But if you ever see me on your For You page on TikTok or even on YouTube Shorts, just know they're not my stories, but I'm telling them as if they were. Like, as if I'm reading them from the person that wrote them. You know, that makes sense? Okay, sorry. If you don't like rambling, honestly exit because I am bad at that. Like, I am always rambling, especially when I'm by myself. I think I talk the most when I'm have a camera on me and I'm by myself because I can just blah, blah. I mean, I talk to myself all day long, and I told my boyfriend that last night, and he's like, I don't know if that's worse than like a person trying to talk. I don't know what I'm saying. Like this person at Target was trying to talk to us, and but she was being like crazy and talking to everyone, and honestly being really offensive, telling this guy that he was sagging his pants and was like, "It looks like you have a diaper on. You should go get a belt. Like it looks like you have a poopy diaper." And I'm like, I think he wants to sag his pants. Like I think it's like a fashion statement for him. So I think that's a little rude that you're saying that. But anyways, I'm gonna start off with a crazy story, and really I mean, I'm not gonna say enjoyed because so sorry and praying for this person because it's actually a really sad story. But let's try to find it. I don't know why I can't find it, guys. This is not starting off well that I cannot find this story. Oopsies. Okay, here we go. Alright. So it's a long one, so like buckle up and it's crazy. This was also posted on March 17th, 3 days before my birthday, 2024. So it was a recent story. I'm going to use pseudonyms for anyone I reference in this post. I, 41 female, am a stay-at-home mom. My husband, 48 male, whom we will call Paul, works in finance. We've been married for nearly 20 years. We have 2 kids, whom we'll call Eric, our 18-year-old son, currently a senior in high school, and Mary, our 15-year-old daughter. They are both the lights of my life. My marriage with my husband has grown somewhat stale over the years for a myriad of reasons, such as his work schedule and how I've aged poorly since we first met. Our son Eric has a girlfriend, 18 female, whom he's been dating since they were freshmen in high school. We'll call her Amy. Eric absolutely adores Amy. She is his first love, and she's someone I've always considered as family. This makes the whole situation emotionally excruciating for me. Last week, I inadvertently saw my husband's phone screen and got a glimpse of a text thread between my husband and Amy, our son's girlfriend. And I read what looked like a message of her telling him that she misses sucking his cockadoodle-doo. I froze in place in complete disbelief. I spent most of the day convincing myself that I must have misread what I saw. However, I didn't misread it because over the last several days, I discovered a file on his computer filled with tons of BDSM corn. He clearly has a corn addiction. He also has saved photos of Amy from her Instagram on his computer. Although they weren't inappropriate, she was fully clothed. It was still the proof I needed to confirm that I wasn't going crazy. I also looked at his phone during opportune moments and saw more of their interactions. I wish I never looked. They were filled with mean, horrible things said at my expense. With him constantly comparing me to her, he would call me fat and old, among other things, with Amy LOLing. Okay, Amy, rude. I've always had hunches or paranoid feelings that Paul has been cheating on me, but never in 1 million years could I have fathomed something like this. Last month, I found a thong in our bedroom that I know was not mine. I turned a blind eye to it, being naive and acting that maybe it was our daughter's, even though that made zero sense. Not only is he cheating on me, but he's betraying our son. I'm completely devastated. I don't even think words can adequately describe the dread, anger, and shock that I feel right now. I'm totally overwhelmed on how to handle this situation. Obviously, action needs to be taken, but I'm terrified of what kind of psychic blow this will be for my son. I have no idea how to even broach this completely effed up topic with him. I wouldn't wish this predicament on my worst enemy. I can't even believe I married this scumbag in the first place. And then my mind started to race, realizing that I started noticing specifically unusual behavior from him around the time Amy turned 18. Was he waiting for her to turn 18 before pursuing this affair? There's so many layers to all of this, and I'm completely paralyzed with fear and dread about it all. None of it is making any effing sense. How did this happen? Am I that much of a stupid idiot that I let this all slip under my watch? Eric adores Amy, and the thought of revealing this sickening truth to him terrifies me. The impact on his young heart and mind could be devastating. My heart aches for Eric and Mary, who are completely innocent bystanders. I haven't confronted my husband about this because I'm frankly scared of the domino effect. I don't know who to turn to about this. I share my story not for sympathy, but in search of understanding and perhaps advice from those who might have had to grapple with deep betrayal. Thank you for listening. So, there is an update as well. So, we're going to read that before we get to my opinions on the situation, which honestly, I think everyone's going to have the same opinion. Alright, so the update is I'm divorcing my husband because he cheated on me with our son's 18-year-old girlfriend. I'm using pseudonyms. Wait, what am I saying? I'm using pseudonyms for confidentiality. I shared a situation a few days ago on another subreddit involving my 41 female husband, Paul, 48 male, our children, Eric, 18 male, and Mary, 15 female. I discovered that Paul was having an affair with our son's 18-year-old girlfriend, Amy. My son has been dating her since they were freshmen in high school. I've already said all that. So, my brother connected me to a very tough junkyard dog type lawyer. I saved screenshots of all of his conversations with Amy. I was only able to get the last 3 months from iCloud. The conversations were mostly flirty and dirty talk. It was hard to stomach, completely sleazy, and I saw several negative things said about me. His call history showed he has talked to her for hours pretty consistently. He uses dating apps. I took screenshots of his profiles and all the active chats he has with his matches. It's very clear he uses a filter to seek out girls who are 18 to 22 or so. Creeper barf. I copied all of his files from the computer. He goes on sex chat rooms and forums, and he spends a lot of money on OnlyFans. I rummaged through every possible hiding spot I could think of in the house. He had various toys, blindfolds, cuffs, lubricants, etc. He also had different outfits which looked like kind of like a girl's Catholic school uniform and a French maid type outfit too. I picked up Eric and Mary from school and we drove all the way to my brother's. They were able to sense something was Ori when I picked them up. I delicately told them the entire situation and I broke down crying. Mary had the most anger, even more than Eric. I met with Amy's mother and told her everything. She confiscated Amy's phone and gave me the entire chat log. It only dated back to 3 months ago, like on my husband's cloud. Almost as if they deleted messages at the same time. Probably. She told me Amy sobbed when confronted. Amy basically told her mother that she will never understand and that she and him are in love. I don't want to get into too many details with what else she was saying, but suffice to say, it's very easy to assume that my husband slowly and methodically became a sage like figure in her life, making her feel like she could rely on him. and he took advantage of the fact that she came from a broken home. Amy is also nonstop insistent that their friendship only became romantic, physical recently. And before that, she said he was more of a friend and a mentor. I confronted Paul over Zoom. The look on his face was scary. He became red and looked so sweaty. He had anger and panic in his eyes. His tone of voice was very defensive and frightening. He kept yelling the word context. That is insane. Over and over again, and that none of that happened. He was unable to speak without constant stutters and intensity. Nothing really made any sense to me. I refused to tell him where I was, and he had said I had no right to take his kids away from him, and then he abruptly left the zoo. My lawyer is filing for temporary sole custody of Mary and a restraining order. Mary is still the most angry. She's totally furious with her dad, and Amy, justifiably so, of course. Mary is recollecting moments and times she watched her dad interact with her friends, and she's in knots about it. Eric is very clearly hurting, but he's so strong and very level headed. He wants to see a therapist. The maturity my kids are showing makes me proud. They don't deserve this at all. We made the authorities aware of everything. I plan on being completely unforgiving and ruthless in this divorce. I'm reflecting on how I've been treated and how it's made me a shell of myself and how I've had a very negative opinion of myself because of him over the last 20 years. I don't want to let this scumbag get away with it. I want to reinvent myself and move on stronger than ever. Slay Queen Boots house down. So, not only is that insane, there's also another update, but I'm just gonna chat with you guys a little bit about it because what the hell is wrong with this man's? He is crazy as hell. I mean, he is 41 years old. Am I right? No, she's 41. I don't even know how old he is. Wait, let me go back. You guys probably know how old he is, but 48. He's 48. Excuse me? And he is trying, first of all, not only did you cheat, could you not just find someone else? Why did it have to be your son's girlfriend? That is actually the craziest thing ever. And maybe Amy, you should have just broke up with him. But I guess then she would have kind of been distanced from him. She probably literally every single time. How did they not notice? I feel like if that were if that were my boyfriend and he was coming over and he was sleeping with my mom behind my back, I feel like I would be able to tell. Like they definitely would have some type of vibe, whenever they came, because she definitely only came over to the house just for him, and she probably at that point had zero feelings for the son Eric anymore, which is so crazy. But that is many months to be just pretending to like him. But also, she had been with this Eric guy for years, like 3 to 4 years. That's actually so sad. I can't even imagine. I just have a feeling that it probably, most definitely, because what are the odds that, I mean, maybe he didn't, I doubt it. Maybe he wasn't sexual with her until she turned 18, but they for sure had some type of relationship behind closed doors before she turned 18, and he's just not going to say anything about it. But, sheesh, that's actually crazy. If I was Amy's mom, I'd be like, absolutely not. But at the same time, she is 18, so she could just leave at any point and go be with this man because she thinks she's in love with him. He's 48 years old, girl. He is actually 30 years older than this woman. This, not even woman, this little teenager. That's actually disgusting. Okay, I'm gonna read updates for you guys. I'm trying to read through this. It validates my own feelings. She's just saying thank you for all the nice comments and stuff. And then this is where, okay, we're all safe and still at my brother's house. We're very careful and his house is secured. Paul has tried to call my cell phone several times a day. I am refusing to interact with him, and I will have my lawyer handle all correspondence. He scares me, frankly. My brother has a very secure house with an alarm system and deadbolt locks. We feel safe with him. But my son and I got checked out and tested. It appears so far that we're both clean based on the immediate rapid tests. But in the coming days, we'll know for certain when the lab results come in. I'm so sorry if you can hear my cat meowing. I'm not overly concerned. Eric is scheduled to see a therapist early next week, which is very good and needed. He's not himself right now. He seems a little bit shell shocked, and I'm concerned. He internalizes a lot, and it's hard to get a read on what's going on in his head. That being said, he's thoughtful and has been talking to me, asking me how I'm doing and everything. He's not interested in corresponding with his dad at all. He calls only my cell phone, and he hasn't tried to reach out to either Eric or Mary. I get the sense that Paul is extremely nervous. He's scared, and I think he deep down knows that if investigated thoroughly, he would be in big trouble. That's what my gut is telling me. I still think about the Zoom call with him, and the more I think about it, the more it looked like he was a man whose entire world was crashing down on him. The panic in his face was very apparent. I offered Mary for me to make an appointment with a therapist as well, but she doesn't want to see one yet. She said she's open to it eventually, but wants time to herself. She's been asking her friends about her dad and if they experience any creepiness with him. Her friends were open and honest with her, and apparently they felt like he stared a lot and sensed his hovering presence whenever they were over. One of Mary's friends went so far as to say that she felt like he was checking her out a lot, like looking at her rear and complimenting the color of her yoga pants. Never, never do that. What color were they? Black? Like, no. Like your black leggings. At the time, no issue was brought up, but in light of everything that has been happening, it seems strange now. He would sit himself in different areas or vantage points to get a good view of her, she claimed. He also asked questions about what kind of friend group or which clique they were in at school. He kept asking about if they were popular girls. I'm completely embarrassed that they had this experience at our house. Ew, I'm sorry. If my dad was saying that to my friends, I would be like, Dad, literally, literally, please leave the premises now. You are creepy. Was the daughter not around? Like if that were me and my friends, I would be like, okay, Dad, that's enough. Like, bye. Bye. Ciao. As for updates on Amy, which is the main reason why I wanted to write this update, I completely agree that she is also a victim. A lot of people have been am I okay? A lot of people have been emphasizing that, and I agree. I've done everything I could in my own power to indirectly get her opportunities to get help. Like I said, I told her mother, and she's been updating me on everything. Amy, unfortunately, is still living in her deluded reality, and I can only pray that she'll eventually come to her senses. She doesn't want to see any doctors or therapists at all, and has been constantly trying to reach Paul because, again, she believes that they are in love. From what I've been told, she hasn't been able to get a hold of him, and he's been avoiding communication with her completely. Amy blames me for that and believes I took away his devices and am very controlling. Oh my god, girl. Any truth that her mother tries to convey to her is met with conspiracy theories and hostility. Amy looks at me as a villain and still sees Paul through rose colored glasses. Her mother showed her screenshots of his dating app profiles and matches, and she refuses to believe it, saying it's photoshopped. According to her mom, Amy keeps saying things like, everyone is just mad because she found herself a real man, and then I'm jealous because she takes better care of him than I do. It's in line with some of the conversations I screenshot, where a lot of what Paul says is him complaining about things I don't do for him sexually. Right now, she's insistent that she and Paul will be together in the long run. Oh, he's honestly a slime ball. I can only hope that Amy comes to her senses, but me directly intervening doesn't feel like it would be productive at the moment. Maybe eventually, though. Yeah, girl, this girl needs actually therapy though, for sure. I mean, everyone in this whole entire situation needs therapy, and the dad needs to be thrown in jail immediately. Wow, so there's an update number 3. Oh my gosh, I actually read all of these already, and I'm just shocked that there's another update because they are long updates too. But that's what we're here for, right? To get the juicy tea, the goss. Except I need to take a drink of my latte before because my throat is closing already. Also, let me know if you like this vibe, like where I'm sitting. I mean, I know it's not that pretty over here. And then I try to put a lamp over here, and then I also have this lamp behind me that I feel like gives a good ambiance. But I want it to be like story time. Like I'm I'm like in a little circle with my class and telling you guys stories, although obviously no kid should be listening to this. Okay. So The update number 3, she's basically saying that a lot of people are harassing her in private messages saying that she's faking the story, and someone made a comment on some post somewhere claiming that my story has been debunked, and people believed that person. I'm pretty sure this girl wouldn't be writing 87 paragraphs of this situation if she was faking it. Like, that would be a very, might I say, sociopathic thing to do, because this is a lot of information to be making up. I don't think she's making it up, girl. Um, Saying that she's asking for money and stuff. Oh my god, that's crazy. Okay, to the update. As for the divorce, it's very much underway. I'm not going to get into the specifics of it all because it's ongoing and I want to make sure everything is going to go smoothly. I got a temporary custody of Mary. Paul also has to pay temporary child support. There's a protective order. Paul can't contact us or come near us. Right now, we're just focusing on getting through this legal mess. Again, not getting into specifics, but because I don't want to mess anything up. But what I'll say is I'm very confident, divorce aside, that there's overwhelming evidence against Paul that will get him in serious trouble and it will impact him for the rest of his life. Slay. I'm sure eventually I can share more about that. I know a lot of people are concerned about his predatory ways, and I just wanted to convey this. Even though I have to be vague right now, justice will come. Dun, dun, dun. All of your concern about how my kids are doing psychologically means a lot to me. Eric has been to therapy twice over the last 2 weeks. I know some people thought I was dismissive of him and acting like he's doing okay. I very much know that he's hurting internally, and we're doing everything we can to make sure he knows he is supported and loved. My brother has been amazing in spending time with Eric and Mary, and both of them have confided in him a lot. My brother has a very healthy marriage, and both he and his wife have really stepped up to the plate for all of us. Mary has not seen a therapist yet, but she promises that she will be open to seeing one soon. Her anger has mostly turned into sadness, I noticed, and I hope I can get her to see a therapist soon. Her friends have played a key role in this whole thing, and that's something that Mary has been grappling with as well. I know a lot of people are invested in the well being of Amy as well. There were a lot of questions about whether Eric and Amy would still see each other at school. It sounded like they go to the same school, but they do not. Eric and Amy went to the same junior high school and knew each other even then, but Amy ended up going to an all girls Catholic high school, while Eric and Mary stayed in this public school system. Maybe that's why she's so boy crazy. I feel like no matter what at that age, you're pretty boy crazy, but if you're going to an all girls school, like, you're trying to get any man's attention. I mean, I'm not I'm not bashing, no shade to anyone that went to an all girls school, but I know I was boy crazy and I was going to a regular school, but I can't even imagine if I was going to an all girls school. I would have been like foaming at the mouth every time I saw a man or a boy. Anyways, we all lived in the same town, and over the summer heading into freshman year is when they were getting to know each other and when they started dating. I wish I had a better Amy update, but it's gotten a lot worse since the last update. Paul has actually been seeing Amy despite her mother trying to force her not to see him. She tells me that Amy says she's 18 and an adult and she can do something and she can do what she wants. Her mother is in a precarious spot because if she kicks Amy out of the house for defying her, something that she is starting to do, which I also think is a mistake, she would just run to Paul immediately, or she would just run to Paul permanently. The time she spends with Paul has increased over the last week, despite the fact that Paul initially ghosted her when all of this first hit the fan. There were some days where Amy would just be gone for hours on end. There's only so much I could do with the Amy situation, but again, I do believe things will turn around soon with that. Given what I know about Paul and what's to come, I can only pray that Amy can get help and guidance when more shit hits the fan. I'm doing everything I can with my own kids and my own mental health, and Amy's mom knows she has my support, and that's all I could really provide. That is very true. One of the top comments says, to be honest, the only way that Amy will see how messed up Paul is when he eventually sleeps with someone else or he accuses her of seducing him. Even he ends as a sex offender. I don't know if that's enough to convince her that he's a creep and dangerous. Now I'm curious to what Paul's intentions are. He ghosted her and now all of a sudden they're meeting up again. Worst case scenario, he's gonna have her falsely testify, which I don't think will take much convincing Amy. Honestly, you and Amy's mom did what you could. The best thing Amy's mom could do is sit and wait, but don't kick her out. Let her know she'll be there for Amy and she'll still have a roof over her head, and pray she snaps out of it soon instead of years later when she has burned bridges and wasted her life on a man who took advantage and ruined everyone else's life. Yeah, because clearly this guy's an actual scumbag. Like, he's not gonna care for her, and even if he stays with this girl, like, for any sort of amount of time, he's gonna be cheating on her the whole time, probably, I'm sure. And when she ages out, he's gonna go find someone else that's young and hot, and he, not saying that she's not gonna be hot when she gets older, but you know, that's what these type of men do, especially men that are setting their dating profiles to 18 to 22. Like, sorry, sir, that is a child. Like, that is a child. I'm 26 years old, and I could never even imagine, like, talking to a 20-year-old is crazy. Have you talked to a 20-year-old as a 26-year-old or older? They are children. And I'm literally only 6 years older than them. I mean, at least some of them. I know it varies from person to person, but like, they are very mature. And I know when I was 20, I was so immature. Like, it's so scary. That's such a power dynamic that is just really gonna be so damaging to Amy in the future. Like, she's gonna need serious therapy. And I mean, I need, this doesn't even happen to me, and I needed serious therapy. I still need that. I still need serious therapy. Okay, the next comment, which is another top comment that I'm just gonna read, and then we'll move on to the next story. Take care of yourself, and please don't stress about these internet trolls. They are mean, heartless, soulless humans that have nothing better to do in life than tear people down that are already hurting. Though I'm also a stranger, your story moves me, and I'm sad that you have to go through this. Please take care of yourself too. Sounds like both kids are doing okay now, but you need to be well too. Best. Yeah, I agree with that. People on the internet are so mean. As I've been sharing, obviously, these Reddit stories, like, from my point of view, which makes it seem like they're my stories, but I put multiple disclaimers. I've noticed how mean people are. Like, why are you telling someone else's story? You're so stupid, idiot. Like, you're so ugly. Like, making fun of me for certain things. So stupid. I just don't understand why people even take their time. But you know what I do? Go to their profile and hit block. Because I don't need that negativity. If you're not going to bring positivity, then go away. You are blocked for the rest of your life. I will never unblock you. It's always the ones with 0 followers and no profile picture. Honestly. For real. Okay. I don't know how many stories I should do with you guys. That was, like, definitely the longest one for sure. And then also, guys, just I just want to say that I'm going to put a forum. I think I'm going to make a Reddit forum, and I'm going to link it below. And I really want you guys to leave personal submissions in my Reddit forum so that I can just, like, start reading those and not have to search. And yeah, I think I might do that, and then also make, like, a Discord or something so that we can chat, because I want to, like, get like a community of Storytime Society members. Oh my god, that's cute. Should we call that, like, Storytime? I'm making my own fan base right now. Like, I don't have any fans, but whoever's out there wants to become a Storytime Society member, it's free. It's free of cost, free of charge. Um. Oh my god, that's crazy. Okay, wait. I think this one's pretty short, but I'm gonna read it. Okay. My fiance, 28 male, called me, 25 female, a effing fat bitch. That's not funny. And I don't think I can forgive him. Would you cancel the wedding? Sorry, I don't mean to scream in the mic, but my fiance, 28 male, and I went to his coworker's birthday party Saturday night, and everything was fine. I arrived 3 hours after he did. He Ubered, and he was already hammered. Ugh, I can already tell. I don't mind that he drinks, but it seems a little early to be blasted by 6 p.m. when the party was just getting started. By the end of the night, he was an angry drunk and yelled at everyone in the party, including his supervisors that were present. I was mortified, to say the least. And yes, I have experienced his angry side, but recently he has gotten angrier and blows up over the simplest things. Probably because he's drunk. We finally left the party, and as we're driving home, he begins to yell at me. He tells me he has PTSD and no one cares. I reply saying I understand, but I'm not going to discuss right now when you're inebriated. He kept raising his voice, and I told him if he didn't calm down, I'd get off the freeway and have him get out of my car. He laughed and started saying, "Good luck getting in my house, bitch." I was shocked and proceeded to get off the freeway. Once we were off, I pulled next to a gas station and told him to get out. Okay, girl. I mean, yeah, I understand. But at the same time, with the situation that happened recently in like Tennessee, that always scares me. Like, at least, I mean, yeah, he's being like so rude, but at the same time, something so terrible could happen to him if he's really that inebriated. He could just go fall into a lake somewhere. And I think you would feel way worse than you did if you just like got him home safe and then went somewhere else or something. I don't know. But I'm not trying to victim blame here. Okay, anyways. I was shocked and proceeded to get off the freeway, and once we were off, I pulled next to a gas station and told him to get out. He got out and proceeded to say, "F you, you effing fat bitch." I was so shaken by this whole experience, but in that moment, I felt relief that this was finally over. I could finally end my relationship and people would understand and not call me crazy. He was super drunk, and this isn't the first time he has had an angry outburst, both drunk and sober. Oof. This is the person I'm supposed to marry in 6 months, and now I'm thinking of ending it all. I love this person with all my heart, but I don't think I can forgive him. His parents don't think he can do anything wrong and justify his every action. They are such good people and they treat me so well, but it's not like they can slap their kid and tell him to realize he's going to ruin his life with these anger problems. For context, his father also has anger problems that I've witnessed before. They do not live in the same state as us, but I've seen how he treats the mom. My dash camera recorded the whole thing. Part of me feels like this is my chance to break free. We have no kids, so there isn't much collateral damage. How do I decide what to do? Can therapy help him? Girl, let that man go. Let that man go. You are 25, female. Why did I have to say that? I'm just reading the caption. You're 25, and don't waste your time because obviously this is a thing within his family. Like, honestly, I think that type of behavior is hereditary, or it's just like they see that happening. That he obviously was raised in this type of household where he was seeing his father treat his mom like that, so he just think that is like normal, and he's like, that's how he's gonna treat his wife for the rest of your life. If it's not good now, 6 months before you're getting married, it's not gonna be good in 20 years from now, and he's probably gonna be more drinking more drunk. Like, I think if this were me, obviously it's so hard and terrifying to leave someone, and you're also like engaged, so that's even crazier. I'm just thinking of it as in like my boyfriend and we just live together. We're not engaged or anything, which honestly isn't that crazy because it's not like we have any ties other than the ring. But I would leave him. I would. I mean, I've left a man for way less because you have to think of it as in where do you want to be in 30 years from now? Where do you want to be in 45 years from now? Where do you want to be when you're like a couple years away from dying? Do you want to be in this abusive relationship with this man that is calling you a fat bitch and probably going to end up physically abusing you at some point? I would imagine. And I'm sure his dad has done that to his mom previously or even still. Like, where do you want to be? You just really have to think about that because that is like the most important thing. That's what I would. I was so young when I was dating my ex, 18 to 22, and like he was not abusive or anything, but it was just a really on and off again toxic relationship between us. And I thought my world was gonna end if I broke up with him. Like, I was like, oh, do I just keep going? Like, no, girl, you are young. You do not keep going because you're not happy now. You're not going to be happy in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 years from now. So, like, why would you do that when you know that even if you're like 35, even if you're like 40, there's no point in staying in a relationship that is like this and that you're not happy in because relationships should be adding to your life and not taking away from your life. And guess what? although relationships aren't, or I mean, although life isn't all about just relationships, you will find someone else. You really will, and you will probably find someone better as long as you have learned from the situation and you are raising your standards up a little bit after that breakup. You will find someone. Like, I swear to you, I promise you, you will find someone. You always think the breakup mind is so crazy because you really always think, like, my world is absolutely ending. It's over. I'm lonely forever. I had a breakup a couple years ago when I was 23 years old. Why did I think I was so old when I was 23 years old? I thought I was like 45. Like, oh my god, why? I can't start my life over. Girl, your life is not even began yet. But when I was 23 and me and my boyfriend broke up, I was devastated. My brain literally was like, you are never gonna find anyone that you loved that much. Like, you're never gonna be in love like that. You're never gonna find someone that nice again. There are 8 billion people in this world. You are gonna find someone. And honestly, after you get out of a relationship, have fun. Hang out with your friends. Go out or whatever you like to do. I mean, I liked to go out. I was going out every weekend, and it wasn't in the bad going out. Like, I was just drowning my, well, maybe I was, but it wasn't hurting anyone. It wasn't hurting me. I was feeling good and having fun. And use that time to like work on yourself. I was going to the gym every day. I was a skinny motherfucking legend. I was working out. I was eating healthy. I was going to therapy, feeling so good about myself every single day. I felt like the hottest damn bitch to ever walk the planet. Because when you break up, you go through a stint. I feel like, I don't know if that's the right word. I went through like a stint of being so sad for like, I was sad for a long time, but the first few weeks are the worst. I had to shove cheesy roll ups from Taco Bell down my throat because I couldn't eat for like 4 weeks. And I lost so much weight. And honestly, give me that breakup appetite back, please. But anyways, yeah. Use that time if you're going through a breakup. Use that time to have fun, hang out with friends, be single, be free, be everything you can't be when you're in a relationship. And I'm not saying that a relationship is bad, but it's just so different. When you're in a relationship and when you're not in a relationship, you can take advantage of both. So don't ever think of it as a bad thing. At first, you think of it as a bad thing, and your brain is literally, I'm screwed forever. You ain't. You ain't. I know that's not right grammar. But anyways, let me read this one top comment. Okay. This person said, 1, you said he's an angry drunk and then expressed that he's the same way sober, so you can stop blaming alcohol. True. 2, you also contradicted yourself by saying his parents are good people and good to you, but they don't see his abusive behavior towards you as wrong. They don't give an F about you. And that is T motherfucking boots house down. Because this mom probably, I'm so sad about saying this, but she probably is just what do they call it? Like a man forgiver, a man, I don't know. Let me know if you know the word I'm thinking about, but she obviously is so, like, has a very deluded mind with men because she's been in this abusive relationship for so long that she just also sees it as normal. 3, you clearly feel liberated. It sounds like a huge weight came off of your shoulders, so why are you wondering why and how to get him back? Honestly though, she did seem liberated. Like, I think this is my time to be free. If you're thinking, oh my god, this is my time to be free, girlie, get out of there. Get out of there. Like, that's a sign probably that you should. 4, who the F cares if therapy will help him? He is no longer your concern. His anger and entitlement is deeply embedded in him thanks to his parents. Am I okay? I didn't really comprehend that. Do you ever do that when you read something and you're just not thinking about what you're reading? Yeah, true. Who cares if therapy will help him? It's not your job to be a fix-a-hoe. And that's the G. 5, keep the recording. Do not delete. Yeah, obviously. And then 6, congratulations on your newfound freedom. Love that. Yeah, I agree. And I really hope that they ended up breaking up, but I don't think she ever put an update up here. I would love to see. Wait, I'm actually gonna go look on her account and see. Because, okay. Oh, 18 hours ago? Oh my god. She's commenting back, but I. Oh, wait. Update, update, update. Oh my god. Okay, Slay. I'm gonna read this update because I haven't read this update and I really wanna know. I read the records. Wait, what? 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 Oh, update. Okay. Update, I just want to clarify some things. Yes, I left that night. I did not wait for him to get home. I blocked him for that day, but then he contacted me through social media and started by saying he was done with alcohol for good and had already scheduled an appointment with a therapist. Don't care. Work on yourself by yourself. Truly. He sent me tons of messages saying he's willing to do anything. Don't believe him. I finally answered him and told him I was done and have no interest in getting married or getting back together. Woo! Let's go, girl. And regarding to calling me fat, it's actually funny because my fiance has only ever dated women who are slightly curvy, like myself. Not obese, but curvy. I recently lost 20 pounds for the wedding and just started feeling good again. I have canceled my photographer and hair and makeup since I paid for those. His parents put the deposit down on the venue, so I feel they can call to cancel that themselves. Yeah. He does not drink to this degree often, but when he does, it always ends with him in a screaming match with someone. Yeah, that's a red flag, but also she also said that he was like pretty aggressive when he was sober. So even if he doesn't drink that often, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, no, just keep going, girl. Keep going. I'm so glad she said that she didn't have any like interest in getting back together because that is when you know. Because once you end it and then you realize that you are way better without this person, that is when you start acting like a bad bitch. For real though. Because then you just realize like, oh my god, I was stressed about breaking up. It's really the part about break because I have broken up with someone before, and it really is like the part breaking up with someone is so hard because you're thinking about it. Like I thought about it for honestly years, but most seriously, the like last 3 weeks of our relationship, I was just like in my bed crying every night, journaling like, oh my god, am I supposed to be with this guy? Like I'm not happy with him. Do I give him a chance? Blah, 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 blah. It had been 4 years at that point that we had been together, like on and off. And I was writing this in my journal, crying, saying, like, am I supposed to be with him? That's probably when you know that you're not supposed to be with them. You know? Like, if you're questioning it that much, let that man go. I should name this Let That Mango, honestly. Like, let that mango, like with a mango, the fruit, you know? Let that mango. That can be our saying. Let that mango. Um, I'm trying to think if I should read another story. I feel like I should read like a short one and then we can wrap it up, wrap up Storytime Society. So, last one is in relationship advice. I, 40 female, had a miscarriage, and my husband, 44 male, really let me down. How do we build trust again? I keep thinking that this microphone is like dead, but I'm just anxious and need to take my medicine. Okay, here we go. We have one son, 3 months, and generally our relationship has been good. We recently had a miscarriage and his response was terrible. While I'm in pain, I still cook for him and his mother. She stays with us and took care of our child. I laid down in our bedroom after being in too much pain and he didn't check on me once for over 24 hours. What? I was so weak and dehydrated. He only came to drop off our child at 7 a.m. because he really wanted you. Because the child really wanted the mom. I didn't like the way she worded that. I stopped talking to him after getting some strength back. I graystoned him for a few weeks. He has bought me flowers. He has bought flowers once, cooked only once the entire time. The separation left me thinking about all the things I've done for him, and he hasn't done for me. The past 6 years of marriage, I quit my life to move on, to move to him. He's never planned a single date or trip Never planned a single wedding anniversary. I've never taken his money. This isn't the first time he didn't take care of me when I was sick, and last time I told him he should take care of a sick person. What? Last time I told him how he should take care of a sick person. What happened to in sickness and in health? Bye? Like, you're just saying bye? In sickness and you took those vows, boy, you better get to work. Uh, sorry. Whenever he was sick, I babied him. Heard that. I brought up divorce. He said I should have asked him for help, but he didn't even check up on me once. We've been in counseling, and our counselor said I need to forgive him. Don't forget, just forgive him. And my husband needs to learn empathy. We need to build our trust again. But honestly, my tank is empty. I don't even want to talk to him. I don't see him building, I don't see him budging to change either. He's not any more attentive than before, and that's already a low bar. Is this marriage done? Is it even possible to bring back trust if there's no indication of change? No. There is no way because also, I just wish people would like realize before they get married. I mean, maybe he was a different person, but I'm sure he was probably slightly the same, and I just really wish they would realize. This is why you break up with someone when you're in a relationship and you realize that they are not the person that you want to be with, because I'm sure it was like that, and then maybe, well, you know what? I'm inferring and assuming and making an ass out of me, you and me, at this point, but this is my assumption. I feel like he was probably shitty when they were dating. And then some women, no hate, no shade. Some women think that when you get married, it's going to change and they're going to be better and you're going to be so much more in love. But really, that changes nothing. The only thing that changes is you got a rock on your finger, maybe, and you have some legal papers that you signed that legally binds you to. And why would you want to be bonded with this little ass scratcher? Because he does not seem like he is worth your time. And that's hard because you have a little baby. That's the hardest part. So I really can't give you true advice about that. Because I don't know, I don't have a child. And I truly don't know what I would do in that situation. I would like to say that I would leave him, but obviously when you're in a marriage, like you want to work things out as much as possible because it's, again, in sickness and in health. What are the other vows? I don't remember, but you know, so you want to like work on things because marriage is like the last option. But if he's not working on things, then where do you go from there? You have nowhere to go other than you just being like, okay, I'm just gonna settle then. You know, like you really have nowhere to go from there. So if he's not changing, then let that man go. Or maybe give him another chance, and then this is the last. Like, tell yourself this is the last chance that I'm giving. We're gonna go to this therapist. We're gonna work on things. We're gonna go to counseling. We're gonna do this and this and this. And he better be trying because if you are having to force him to go to therapy with you, that's it. Eliminated immediately. But if that makes you feel better, maybe be like, okay, this is my ultimatum. I'm giving you one more chance to get better, to be a better man and husband and father. And then if you don't pass, bye. Goodbye. Okay, I'll read the top comment. Elemental Help says, your husband effing sucks. What an utter failure of a husband, father, and general human being. He utterly and completely lacks empathy. Sorry. Clearly, there's no marriage here. He is incapable of being a partner to you and supporting you in even basic ways. I would leave somebody like this. There's no fixing people who are missing empathy. Circuitry? I don't know what that word is. Oh my god, I've never seen that word in my life. In their brain. Your counselor also sucks, by the way. I would have to agree with that. Plan your escape and leave the you should have asked comic printed out on the counter. That's funny, actually. You are funny. That's funny. Okay. That's all I have to say about that. So we're 3 stories down, and I think that was like a success, if you ask me. It's really It's not weird because I talk to myself like this all the time, but it's funny and it's fun to actually the fact that you have a conversation with yourself for an hour. But also, I just read so many stories, so maybe I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't give myself so much credit. Um. Anyways, subscribe. I will link all my socials below. You really don't have to follow if you don't want to, but I would love you if you did. I would really love you so much. And anyone who even watches like a sliver of this, thank you so much. Like, thank you. Because I'm going to be posting, I think, once a week. Maybe I'll give twice a week if this ends up going well, you know? If it ends up going well, maybe I'll do twice a week. But that would be really fun if it did end up going well because this is fun. I just get to sit on my couch, drink some coffee, and tell you guys some stories. Like, that's fun. I have an elementary education degree that I didn't use, and I assume I'd be giving a lot of story times. So this is like my way of replacing that, you know? Like telling you guys story times. Story time, guys! Come on, get in a circle, sit on your squares. Um, oh, someone is scribbling out there. I feel bad. I think I should go help them. I'm sorry if you thought it was annoying. Don't comment anything. Honestly, just block and don't subscribe because I just can't take the hit to my self-esteem. I would really appreciate that if you just stayed silenced. I would like you to be silenced. And if you did like it, then leave a comment because I want to chat with as many. I don't know what we should call people that watch this, story timers or like Storytime Society members. That's kind of a long one. But I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of Storytime Society because I think I enjoyed it. And I've already read these stories before. But reading them a second time and getting to like put my inner dialogue out into the world was kind of fun. And I'm sorry if I gave you bad advice or if I gave anyone bad advice, but I am not a legal advisor. So you don't have to take my advice if you don't want to. This is just my individual opinion. And I have a lot of them. So, love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, unless you have something mean to say. And slide.